Well, Suzanne Evans, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Nigel Farage used the term openly ostentatious, but when you look at these pictures of Louise earlier in the week from Claridge's, I mean, we've got both these pictures here we can look at of before and after covering up with this giant napkin. It's anything but ostentatious what she's doing. In actual fact, it's more ostentatious when you've got that huge napkin over her baby. Was Claridge's doing the right thing here?
Well, I absolutely agree with what Louise is saying. No woman should ever be embarrassed to breastfeed in public. And I don't think Nigel Farage was at any time saying that what Louise has done was even remotely ostentatious. I think it's pretty clear exactly from the pictures that you've shown that it wasn't. He was talking about the need to be discreet, though. I mean, I have been in an event once at a lunch party where a woman was breastfeeding in a way which I thought was very ostentatious. In fact, she fed the baby and then the baby fell asleep and she still kept herself uncovered. And I think that was the kind of thing that Nigel was referring to. It's about discretion. And most mums, let's face it, want to be discreet. As Louise said, breastfeeding isn't the easiest thing. It's something I struggled with enormously myself. And in fact, I actually used to take a big muslin with me so I could cover up and just make it a little bit easier. So I suppose that's a similar to a napkin. But yeah, let's not make it any more difficult for women, and let's be clear, Nigel Farage said he has no problem with it whatsoever, and if he was running a restaurant, I don't think for a minute he would ask any woman to go and sit in a corner, and that's the bottom line here.
But he did say, did he not, that restaurants should have the right to ask women who are breastfeeding to move to a corner if they want to. Now, surely, you know, if some people find that offensive, some people might, for example, find a woman wearing a low-cut top or a short skirt offensive, or indeed a woman who's got an uncovered head. Should restaurants therefore have the right to ask those women to cover up? Is that what we're saying?
I think what he was trying to make was more a kind of fundamental observation that at the end of the day, it's an establishment that has responsibility to take due consideration of all its customers. And I think this has got blown out of all proportion, really. I think he was talking about establishments in more general terms.
Should therefore, if you take all customers into account, then surely some might be offended by a woman having her head uncovered, for example. Yeah. Should restaurants have the right to ask their customers to cover up in that sense?
Well, I don't know. I suppose if a restaurant feels that people are being grossly offended for whatever reason, I mean, I firmly take the view that a woman should be allowed to wear what she wants. And I can't really think of a situation where an establishment might have to. I think it would have to be a pretty extreme incident for that to happen. But I think it is a fundamental principle that perhaps there's a feeling that too many people who run businesses don't have the right to really run their businesses.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but I just want to give Louise the last chance